Hey, you're back. Oh, you just had a debate with your friends and lost. What was the debate about? Give you guys some time to get in. Giving yourself a purpose to live and making it up. Let's see. Let me see. Shalom, shalom, Lisi. Shabbat shalom. Turn the volume down here. Okay. Awesome. Okay. How's everyone doing? All right. Shalom, shalom. How's it going? Shalom, shalom. Let's see here. Okay. Well, I was looking. I was looking at an article. Let me know if that's loud. If that's a loud background, I'll just move somewhere else. Is that too loud? Can you guys hear me okay? Just let me know. Give me a 100 if you can hear me okay. 100 if you can hear me okay. Oh, okay. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So, this one I wanted to really talk about, moving from a consumer's mindset to a producer's mindset, because you hear on my channel and my brother, at Following Yeshua channel, we talk about come out of her, my people, becoming a homesteader, and essentially it's really about moving from being a consumer to a producer. That's essentially what it's all about. And I guess what we have to do is we have to understand that it's more than one thing. It's more than one type of coming out. There's, obviously you got to come out mentally, you got to come out physically, and you got to come out spiritually. And some people, I've looked at some enlightened ones. Shalom, shalom, family. Shalom, shalom, mishpachah. Some people, they don't feel like it's necessary to do any of that stuff. They don't. They just don't feel like it's necessary whatsoever. So we're gonna, talk a little bit about that, and just kind of go from there. I wanted to kind of give people a chance to kind of get in. House of Lee, shalom, shalom. All right, all right. The family coming in. The mishpachah is coming in. Shalom, shalom. Glad you guys are out. Before we get all that, if you guys know anyone, know a company that can get you out of a timeshare, let me know. Put it in the comments below or something. Let me know. And I am being very genuine about it. you guys, I know you guys saw like a while back. When was I? It was months ago. It was months ago. I did one, you know, while I was on horseback and all this other stuff and talking about timeshares because you know I really hate them, and I'm being very genuine about it. I really do. I just think it's a waste of money. But when you got to pay the maintenance, the worst part about it is the maintenance fees. That's the worst part about them, and I really want to get out. But anyway, what I try to do around this time is, you guys know this time of year you're gonna get a whole lot of happy holidays, you know, Merry Christmas and all that, you know. And most of the time I ignore them. I may retort with Happy Hanukkah or something like that. I don't know, but my goal is really to just get out from around people, you know, get around people who do that. And so one way or the other, I just get out. I just get out from where I am. Usually I'm in a city somewhere, and I just get out, get in the countries and stuff. And so now I just kind of came up into the mountains a little bit, where it's quiet. And if you look around, there's no Christmas, well, decorated Christmas trees and all that stuff. It's quiet, you know. I just don't like to get around. I mean, I like to come out of the paganism, come out of her my people, get out of all that paganism and stuff. So it's just, I don't know, I just like it better this way. It just makes a little bit more sense for me. So until then, I'll just keep doing that, keep avoiding as much holiday spirit, as it were, avoiding all that, you know, that wicked, you know, pagan. I can't do it. I can't do it, guys. I can't do it. I'm out. I tap out. So I just want to get out of that. But what I wanted to do, let me see here. I'm just messaging real quick. Okay. So anyway, just wanted to talk about, you know, come out of her, my people. But I really want to talk about, you know, going from being, you know, consumers, you know, to producers and stuff. And first, let me just go ahead and say shalom to my brethren out there, as far as this topic is concerned. Okay, because first, let me say shalom to my brother David. He came out. I say that because he came out a couple of years back. You know, he came out years back and started producing and start doing things and building things with his own two hands. Okay, really put his faith out there. Very, very humble beginnings, you know, and just worked, and, you know, just about his business. And of course, you guys know Brother Chris. You know, he come out of the system, and humble beginnings. You know, you guys know the story, humble beginnings, and he's working with his hands and producing, getting it done. Brother Manny, same thing. Got his land, and he's already produced some fire. You know, he got a wood burning stove, and he's producing as well. And that's what this whole transition is all about. Okay, you got me, and you have Brother Andre, and we have some things we got to take care of. There's some affairs we got to get in order. Shalom, brother. Shalom, brother Chris. Awesome live stream last night. You were hitting it on all cylinders, brother. You were hitting it on all cylinders. So I enjoyed it. It really, you know, it passes the time. It really give us, we can all fellowship, you know, to a certain degree, and get our minds focused on the things that we should focus on the Most High's Shabbat. So that's why I kind of like to do it the way we're doing it right now. You know, you kind of bring it in that night. You know, I'll come and put one of these together for Shabbat, give people a little bit of rest. You know, wake up in the morning, give people, time, and then they can look at this one, and then you close it out. That's how I want to do it. That's how I want to do it. But in this one, I want to focus on becoming a producer because we're a consumer, right? And I first started using this terminology or reading this terminology, when it comes to business and entrepreneurship and stuff like that. And they're talking about, don't be don't always just be a consumer, right? And I was actually looking at an article. And I'm gonna give you a little bit of it. I'm not gonna read like the whole thing, but I'll give you a little bit of it, okay? And actually, it was a couple of years back. And let's see, Ralph Waldo Emerson, he said, every man is a consumer and ought to be a producer. He is by constitution expensive and needs to be rich. And, we need to be producing more than we are consuming. We need to be producing more than we're consuming. So that was Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said, what keeps us from starting that side project or from building that company? What keeps us from making excuses for why we can't begin? Okay, now I want you to correlate this, okay, to what we're trying to do, right? Well, we want you to correlate the things that we're trying to do as far as coming out, okay? And it says consumer mindset, and that's what we have. We have consumer mindset, and we need to get rid of that mindset. And let me look at this article, right? It says we're all consumers. We spend our days reading, listening, eating, and buying. We buy things we don't need to make us happy, okay? A constant consumption of newer and better things. We work to afford the newest clothes, the nice car, the expensive dinner out, but none of this will add happiness to our lives. True happiness comes from helping others. We're talking about, all things in common. We're talking about fellowshipping one to another. Okay, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about building our own homesteads. Okay, helping one another. From carving out our own path. We're talking about homesteading. See, all this correlates to what we're doing, okay? It comes from the confidence gained by knowing that you can succeed in your dream. What do? We dream. We want to bring up our own tribe. We want to homestead. We want to please the Most High, okay? As long as you remain only a consumer, you will not have the fulfillment you desire. Consumer can never get enough. They can never be truly happy. They will always look at the world through the lens of what they can get from it instead of what they can give to it. But I'm saying produce for yourself, right? Because that's what we do as consumers. We buy. We need, want, consume. When we're tethered to the system. Okay, when we're tethered to the system for everything, like the scripture says, in want of all things. That's what tends to happen to us. We end up being in want of all things, right? So let me give you the other part now. Switching to a producer's mindset. Now remember, it's coming from like more of an entrepreneurial type thing, but it correlates a bit to what we're doing. Producers, on the other hand, strive to make something valuable to others. They receive their payment not only monetarily, but through the confidence of self that they don't require anyone else to survive in this world. That's what being self-sufficient is all about. It's not as hard as you might think. You don't have to have a large fabrication shop selling millions of items. You could simply start a blog. You could you can put out information that can help others going through the same experience that you've gone through. It can be free. That's what we're doing. Blogs. It doesn't cost you anything, Like my brother Chris, he chronicles his journey. He let you guys peer into his life and let you see what he's doing. Let you see, this is what I'm doing, guys. And he haven't asked you for a dime. I mean, people have been generous and sent money, but he hasn't asked anyone for a dime or anything. He just kind of let you see. The producer mindset allows you to view the world through the opposite lens. This lens will keep you striving to find new ways to provide value and allow you to see how others are doing the same. Okay, so that's what that's what I wanted to get on that because it's a mindset type thing. Okay, first, you're not gonna one day have this consumer mindset, next day you are a homesteader, and that's it, right? So it's step by step by step. So mentally, you got to know that you are a consumer and you have to snap out of it, right? So I wanted to kind of lead into what some of us are doing, and I want to encourage others. Because what happens is that a lot of people get discouraged because they can't homestead right away. They can't do what it is that what they want to do, you know, which is homestead. They can't do it right away. Like tomorrow, I can't homestead tomorrow, but I can do other things. I want people who are in the same position to understand. Okay, we are all in different stages. We're all in different stages, right? So what I mean is, you may be in a stage where you are taking care of financial situations. Some people are buried in debt or have to take care of some business affairs or something like that. Okay, that's like myself. That's like Brother Andre. Some of you out there may be in that same position. Some of you, you're not on the land right now, but you want so desperately to be on the land right now. I know I do, right? But right now, you can still work towards that. Work towards that. Anybody who's homesteading right now, they can tell you that it's a process. It's step by step by step by step, right? Everything's not laid out before you or whatever, but you got to take steps in faith. And it does, the way it looks today is not how it looked in the beginning. Okay, even brother David, Brother Chris can tell you the same thing. Okay, when he first got out, either one of them, when he first got out their land, it was just land. That was it. It looks different today, but the day they got it, it was just land. Okay, he say definitely it's a process. It's true, right? It wasn't day one. He didn't have, like for instance, since Brother Chris is on there, he didn't have chickens day one. He didn't have goats day one. He didn't have eggs day one. It's a process. I want everyone to remember it's a process. Okay, it was a process to get you in the position that you're in. I'm talking about those who are not homesteading, right? Those who are, you know, still in a system and stuff. It was a process to get you there. You know, it took you your entire lifetime for the system to indoctrinate you, to teach you, to train you into thinking the way you think, into doing the things that you do, okay, into processing information that you have right now. Shabbat Shalom, Frank Robertson. Okay, it took a long. It took you're an adult. It took you a whole life, and that was a process. Started in public school. Okay, started way back in public school. It started when they start, you know, telling you all the things that this is right, that's wrong. You know, immunizations, standardized. You know, the testing. You know that they do. It started from there. Okay, telling you different lies and things like in history. Showing you, you know, telling you the Santa Claus and Easter and all the indoctrination began. It's a whole process. My point is, it's gonna be a process coming out. It's gonna be a process. It's not gonna be in one day. So mentally, one, you have to wake up, right? We have to wake up. You have to realize that there's a problem, right? You have to realize that there's a problem. You got to realize you got to wake up. And so you start thinking, you know, man, I got to think things differently. I got to look at the Bible a little bit differently. I got to look at things in context. I got to look at definitions behind the words. Okay. I have to, you know, when I was in church, the church lied to me. Okay. The church was just Christianity completely lied. You pretty much throw out 99% of it. Okay. 99% of it, you got to throw it out and start all over again. Right. Okay, that's breaking out of that, you know, spiritually, getting rid of religion, because Moses he didn't come down from the mountain and give them religion. He didn't hand them here's some religion. Okay, he handed law. Okay, that's what he did. He handed law of the Most High with heritage, law, culture, things like that. Right? Christianity turned it into religion. So you have all that. Okay, now you may be Roman Catholic, you may be Protestant, same thing. You ain't really no different, right? There's really not much difference. They're the same thing. So you have to mentally break out of that. Now, financially, you may have gotten yourself in a lot of debt, okay? And you got to take care of that. You got a lot of contracts and terms and things that you got to wait out to the end of the term and get rid of those type of things. Hey, that's a start. All the fruit that all your fruit is not necessarily seen right away or by the rest of the world, right? So if you're in that situation and you're paying down debt and you're saying, okay, I'm canceling this, I'm canceling that, I don't need this, I don't need that, all that unnecessary stuff, you're doing something. You're changing, you're transitioning from being a consumer to a producer. You have to make the transition. It is a process. It's a mental, it's a physical, it's a spiritual change. That's what you have to do. And it's gonna take time. Don't let anything stop you. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. Okay. Same way. I'm getting on these videos and I'm just walking you through the process, right? I can't say, hey, look at these apples that I'm growing, right? I can't do that right now. I can't do that right now. Now come next year, well, trees take a little longer, but you get my point. Come next year, that'll be different. Okay, my videos will be a whole lot different. Hey, I'm building this, I'm working on that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, producing, right? Right now, it is get your financial affairs in order, whether it be business dealings, whether it be debts, whether it be whatever, downsizing. Okay, I moved out of the house that I was in. I'm in a travel trailer now. Okay, on purpose. Okay, I don't want some big house mortgage or anything like that. No, I'm vehicle, travel trailer. I'm moving out. I'm getting the hell out. Okay, I got to take care of the financial side of it. Okay, I already come out of it mentally. Okay, I already look at things completely different than I did 10 years ago. Period. So that's done. Okay, so like I was saying, sometime your fruit is going to be. Everyone's not going to see it. Not everyone's going to see it right away. I wanted to put this together just so I can encourage some people. Okay, because some people get discouraged. They're like, man, I'm never going to get out of here. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And Brother Chris brought up something yesterday. A little bit. He touched on a lot of the distractions that we do. Being a consumer, what do we do as consumer? What do we do? I jot down a couple things. We consume food, right? We consume, and now we're dependent on those trucks to keep running. We consume to our heart's content, and then we depend on those trucks to keep showing up. And what happens if those trucks not showing up? Now, just by virtue of the fact that you have to depend on those trucks to show up, and I do too because I don't have gardens yet, but just by virtue of the fact that you got to depend on those trucks to show up, you're a consumer and you're dependent. That has to change. That has to change. Shalom, shalom, and for Johnny. Shalom, brother. Shalom. Okay? What else we consume? It's going to be kind of weird for me to say, but we consume like time. And what I mean by we consume time is that we waste time. If we're not being productive with that time, okay? If we're not being productive with that time, I mean, what? It's just big time wasters, meaningless programs and looking at different endeavors and stuff, guilty pleasures and stuff. But then we end up in this rabbit hole of just senseless stuff with information that doesn't serve us. It doesn't do anything, right? It doesn't do anything. There's all these programs and apps and things. Netflix, Hulu, some we've got satellite TV, and I have all these channels. We got 200 channels, and what on average you watch maybe 10% of them. Let's be honest. How many people watch more than? I'm not going to even jump really, really high. If you have satellite or something, cable, satellite, whatever, watch more than say 10 channels. 10 different channels, not 10 shows, more than 10 channels. Oh wait, let's see if you watch more than actually 10 channels. All the channels, HBO, Showtime, Fox, CNBC, whatever, USA, Spike, all the channels, okay? It's the NFL Network, whatever. How many people watch more than 10 channels? I'm still waiting. Nobody. You see that? Nobody's saying, yeah, I watch more than 10 channels. But yet, how many of you have more than 10 channels? Okay, don't be shy. Just be honest. How many of you have more than 10 channels? It's not an indictment. Okay, you can have a regular basic television and have more than 10 channels. But how many people have more than 10 channels? Okay, that's all I want to know. How many of you have more than 10 channels? Let me look. Zero channel. For most paper channels, you know, yeah, absolutely, yeah, yeah, that's my point. Yeah, that's my point. You know, we got a ton of channels, and we don't even watch it. We don't even get around to watching it. You know, last time I had satellite, I don't have it now, but last time I had satellite TV, I didn't even get a big package. Okay, so this is not like a bragging. I did not get a big package. I got a middle of the road package, and I probably had 200 something channels or something like that, right? And then, but that includes like channels that plays like music only, right? You know, stuff like that. It was a middle of the road type of package, you know, I was still big, you know, in football and stuff. I had NFL Network, I had all these channels, and I think, man, I had probably about 200 channels, something like that. Okay, something like 200 channels, and you know, I watched less than 10 of them. Okay, so I was like, what the heck am I? You know, I was paying for, you know, paying for stuff. I mean, I wasn't even watching. So my point is, we're all consumers, right? So I'm not trying to hold anybody's feet to the fire. Hey, you know, I'm guilty too. I had those too. I don't have those packages now, but I had it too. You know, I'm a consumer. I'm a consumer. Until I'm producing, until I'm more self-sufficient, I'm a consumer. But my whole goal is to be a producer. My whole goal is to do everything I can to produce everything that I can, okay, in different areas, right? So and like you were talking about, we give a lot of energy to a bunch of rhetoric or useless propaganda, or you know, just stuff that really doesn't do us any good. Now, that doesn't mean, don't get me wrong, because some people will get it twisted, like we're not supposed to stay abreast of what's going on today. I'm not talking about not staying abreast of current events. That's not what I'm speaking about. We should stay abreast of current events. We should stay abreast of what's going on in the world. We should stay abreast of what's going on in Israel. We're just not supposed to allow that to distract us and consume all of our time away from the things that we should be doing. Okay, it's good to have all this knowledge of what's going on and keeping your hand on the pulse of the situation. Knowledge is power, but I don't believe that. I don't believe knowledge is power. I believe that applied knowledge is power. So when you get all this information of what's going on, okay, food crops, you know, being destroyed, and all this GMO that's going on, and all this fake food that they're making in labs and laboratories, and all these health things, stay aware. Yeah, yes, exactly. He said, yes, stay aware, but not be distracted. Exactly. Just know what's going on. So what are you going to do with that information? And so you understand what is going on. Shabbat Shalom, Johnny Smith. Shabbat Shalom, my brother. So we need to know what's going on. But that doesn't stop you from doing what you're doing. That doesn't stop you from keeping moving. That does not stop you from doing that. If you're out there and you're building something, you're doing your thing. You digging a ditch or something that you need or whatever. You hear something. You're watching something. You wow, that's messed up. Damn shame. And you right back to work. You right back to work. You see? Don't let that distract you. It's what I mean, we can't afford to let that distract us, man. We really can't. But that's something that we do all the time. But if we're gonna produce what we can look forward to. Because the point is, we got to figure out what we're going to produce. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? How are we going to get there? What are we going to do? One, don't be discouraged. Keep going. It don't always look great. I mean, it doesn't always look great. I'm sure my brothers can tell you about dark days, but they had to keep going. That I'm sure they had to tell you, okay, how am I going to feed my family? How am I going to warm my family in the winter? How am I going to cool them in the summer? You see, there's a lot of things you have to think about. There's dark days. But be encouraged. You have to figure out, well, what am I going to produce? Alternative forms of energy. Okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to do what? Hydroelectricity? I mean, some people can do that. Produce that. Wind power? You're going to do that? You're going to do that? Let's get that going. You know, you're going to use biodiesel? You're going to do that? Solar? All those things. Producing. What are you gonna do? You got to figure out, well, what am I gonna do? See, while I'm out here, okay, while I'm not on my land right now, what I'm gonna do? Journal. I'm journaling, getting a notebook of all the things I want to do. Okay, how am I gonna produce my food? What kind of crops do I want to grow? What grows in the region where I'm living? Journaling all those things. So when I get out there, I'm not just thinking of everything on the fly. No, will I have everything all figured out? No, 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 no. Life has a way of punching you in the mouth when you think you have a plan. But have a plan, roll with the punch, take that hit on the chin, and roll with the punches. We got to keep going. We got to keep going. So that's what you can do. Get your affairs in order and start writing down all the things that you need to do. So when you get out there, you're not just spitballing and guessing and all that. Just get it going. Figure out, hey, brother Chris, if you're still on there, if you don't mind, could you put in the top 3 things that you were concerned about? And brother David, if you were around there, figure out the top 3 things that you were worried about when you got out, when you were moving out there, like your top 3 concerns. Now I know you got a laundry list of things you were concerned about, but what would be the top 3 things that you were worried about when you get out there? Okay, so put that in there. So that's what I want, talk to you guys. You figure out what you need to do and understand there's going to be some obstacles. Understand it's going to happen. If you want to go from being a consumer to a producer, understand there's some transitional steps and understand. Okay, he said he was cold, getting a job, and being accepted by the surrounding people. Okay, top 3 things he was worrying about. The cold. Okay. Oh, brother Chris, what part of the year did you go out there? Summer, winter, fall, spring. When did you get out? I don't remember which month you moved out there. When you got out there. So that's what you gotta figure out. One of the things I was looking at, I was like, okay, I'm gonna produce. This whole idea of homesteading, this whole idea has a couple things that's involved with it, right? What you and I, those who are not out there right now, I'm speaking to those in this position. Okay, he went early spring. He came out to our land in a travel trailer doing a tornado warning. Okay, early spring. Okay, got you. Early spring. All right. See, so hey, there was a lot of things, and he had a lot of things to consider. Okay, he had a wife, he had kids. He had to consider a lot of things and a lot of things to think about. He's like, okay, I got to find a job. He saved up some money. I got to find a job. Okay, how do we stay? He's worried about the cold. How do we stay warm? He had saves up some food preps and things like that. But he's like, hey, and like he said, he got the gardens going first thing. Okay, first thing. And came out of the travel trailer. That's what I'm doing. I'm going out in the travel trailer. So when I step foot on my land, I'm just going to be in a travel trailer, and I'm going to focus on gardens. First thing I'm going to worry about, gardens. I'm going to check out the soil, see what I'm working with, what type of soil I have, check out the pH, things like that. Figure out some of the fruit and vegetables that I can grow in that area, see how I'm going to do it, and go from there. Figure out where I'm going to do it. Trailer sounds better than a tent. Well, yeah, trailer, yeah, and some people have gone out in the tent. Some people were willing to go out in the tent. I think, brother, correct me if I'm misspeaking, brother Chris, but I think brother David said for a little while that he was in a tent. That he was in the tent for a while. And I actually know someone else. Who else came out in the tent? I'm trying to remember. Somebody else came out and they stayed on their land in a tent. Okay, so. Hey, sacrifices. People do what they got to do. I'm looking at a tent army style. Yeah, those are some. Those some pretty heavy duty industrial tents. So yeah, definitely, you can definitely do that. Yes, he was. I came out with a tent, but Pastor Fox gave us a travel. Yep. And so yeah, exactly. I remember that. I remember you were prepared. You were prepared to do it in a tent, and then you got blessed by Pastor Joe Fox with a travel trailer. So thank y'all for that, man. Thank y'all for that. So as a homesteader, okay, and I'm blessed to have my brother on there too, on here too, because he can speak from experience. That's why I like having him on there, like having Brother David on there too, because they can tell you from experience, firsthand experience. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of facets. There's not like just one thing with homesteading. You know, it's not just one little thing. You know, and you got to look at, okay, if I'm going to produce, I need to produce my own food, fruits, vegetables. You know, what can I grow? What are the staple? What are those staple crops? Okay, what am I going to put in the ground? You know, when do they start to, when they're going to be ready to harvest? You know, from seed to harvest. He said, "Follow his shoe like the hood Abraham." He's like the hood Abraham. Okay, so you got you threw me off with that one, Johnny. You threw me off with that one, brother. But we produce, so we produce fruits and vegetables. Yeah, I know, the hood Abraham. So, but brother Chris, for real, you know, you understand. You're just doing your thing, right? You just, like the page says, following Yeshua, and so you're inspiring people along the way. You know, they're saying, hey, if this guy can do it, I can do it. You know, if this guy can make it happen, you know, starting out very humbly, you know, with a little, maybe I can do it. Maybe I can do it. They're saying, they're asking themselves, you know, what excuse do I have? You know, what excuse do I have? So for you to be doing it, and for you to be chronicling it, you know, that you have done it, for you've been, you know, sharing your faith, you know, it's very inspiring. That's the reason why your channel is growing. Okay, not because you turn on the camera one day and you had it all figured out. Okay, so that's what drew me towards, you know, that's what drew me towards fellowship with you. That's what motivated me to say, you know what, as all the obstacles that was happening when I wanted to get to Sukkot, that's what said, you know, I'm going. I'm not gonna just keep having an excuse. Oh, the weather. Oh, this. Oh, that. You know, I canceled one trip I was gonna make. I canceled, and it was I was gonna come out and visit you and Pastor Joe Fox, but I did have a death in the family, so I'm gonna qualify that as a pretty good reason. So he said, I'm still trying to figure it out exactly. But you know, just to let you know, I mean, you know, I don't know if anyone told you, but it's just inspiring. You know, you don't pretend like you got it all figured out. You know, you're just like, look, you know, y'all put it in my heart to come out of her and the homestead and to be a patriarch and you know, bring up my tribe, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm just letting you see me do it. You know, and that's it, and that's it. So that's what inspires us. That's what we love about it. So you just keep doing, you know, you keep doing what you're doing. You know, you keep doing. Absolutely, praise God. You just keep doing what you're doing, and that's it. That's how, you know, that's how we see it. In case you're just wondering why, you're like, man, yeah, people just kind of, you know, gravitating and stuff. That's why they're gravitating. Okay, and that's how it is. You know, that's how it is. People like doers. You know, people gravitate towards doers, and that's it. So that's why, you know, and that's why I'm doing the same thing. I'm just chronicling right now. You know, I can't show people right now, hey, this is how you build this, okay? You know, this is how you, but I'm saying, hey, you can prepare. This is what you can do. You're in a situation, because I'm speaking to those who are still in the city. Speaking to those like that, downsize. I can say that. I can say that. Okay, you want to come out of her? You want to do that? Start divesting yourself of all the things that keeps you roped into the system. Start paring down. I've done that. I probably threw away about 30% of the stuff, you know, that I had in my house. I just start throwing it away, you know, or donating, you know, taking it to Goodwill or something like that. I have a storage unit like full of stuff, and I still need to downsize. You know, my wife was like, yeah, we still got to get rid of some stuff, you know, before we head out, you know, to the Ozarks. I still got stuff I got to get rid of. Selling the land up here in Arizona, getting rid of that land, you know. So still got a lot of affairs, a lot of things I got to get rid of and got to get done. Here's the thing. That's who I'm speaking to. Those who have all these tentacles that have us ensnared in the system, trying to cut all that away, trying to get rid of all that. Okay, trying to get rid of all that. So I'm getting out. I'm coming out. You know, I'm coming out regardless. That's why I say, you know, 2020, I'm coming out. I don't care. I'll take care of the rest of the issues from a distance. Okay, but I'm coming out. So all those things that have us, tethered to the system, come out. Those are the people that I do. I only wear 3 pants while I have 20. I only have 3 pants while I wear 25. Well, I got 25. Exactly, brother. Exactly. That's the kind of thinking. That's going from consumer to a producer. Now I am gonna buy some pants, some pants. I want some warmer pants because especially where I'm going, some pants that's warmer, cargo pants, with some pockets and things like that. That's durable because I'm gonna be doing a lot of work. And I might get two of those, two, 3 of those just to kind of swap them out, whatever, and work. That kind of thing. But other than that, I'm not trying to win some doggone fashion show. I don't need all that. I don't need all. I don't need that. So no, I'm just gonna get some real rugged, some pants that I can do some damage to, and just go from there, brother. Just go on producing. I'm getting some producing pants. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm getting some producing pants. I see people wearing jeans that, gee, woo, cheap as price. I don't know what the I came out with like 20 pairs of jeans, most going for, let me go ahead. He said going out, they're all now working pants with holes. Yep, producing. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna do these fashionable jeans. Well, I don't need that. I don't need that. You can keep one. You can keep one or two, something that's quote unquote fashionable or whatever, in case you go to like an event, like we went to the biblical marriage event. If you're gonna go to a Israelite a Hebrew conference or something like that, and you want to look pretty decent, that's about it. That's all you need is one. All you need is one. All you need is one. That's it. You don't need a whole wardrobe full of that stuff. So. No, bro. That's a good mindset where you're gonna, go from a consumer to a producer. To say, you know what, you take a look at everything. Take a complete inventory for what you have. Complete inventory and just say, hey, look, do I need this? Is this gonna help me get where I'm going? This is do I need all this stuff? Okay. So I mean, that's how it goes, brother. I mean, that's how it goes. So, like I said, I just want to encourage anybody who just even thinking about it, who thinking about coming out and then feel like they're not getting anything done, because they haven't, planted lettuce. That'll come. You'll get there. You'll get there. You don't know why, because you got to eat. So you'll get there. You will get there. All just for right now, take care of your business right now. The things you got to think about: homesteading, obviously. Your food production, fruit, vegetables, things like that, grains. Are you gonna, you growing that? You want to think about that. That's the whole purpose of producing. You want to produce righteous seed, okay? That's what a lot of the brethren are doing right now. They're producing righteous seed, whether it be through monogamy or polygyny. Either way, they're trying to produce righteous seed, okay? We're assembling. We're trying to get with like-minded people because we're trying to produce righteous fellowship. Keep that in mind. We're trying to produce righteous fellowship. Okay, you're trying to produce shelter. You're trying to build your own homestead, meaning with a home on it. However you're going to do it. However you're going to do it. A-frames, cob, earth bricks, traditional, however you're going to do it, just do that. You're trying to produce shelter. Okay, you're trying to so that you're not dependent and you don't have to have a big 30-year mortgage or anything like that. You want to be free. You want to be free. You want to be free. Okay, you're trying to produce medicinal medicine, medicinal herbs, okay? So that you're not so dependent on the other things. Obviously, when an emergency occurs, yeah, you might need medicine, okay? For something, big time, right? But we know that the Most High gave us, herbs and things like that for our healing, right? So when you get healthy, that's why, if you're not out yet, hey, exercise, get your stamina up. Because when you go homesteading, what's going to happen? You got to work. You got to work. And you got to do it a lot, around the clock. You got to work. So in the meantime, maybe you should be out here working on that stamina. Maybe you should be out here running, jogging, doing what you got to do whatever you got to do, but get your back, get physical. Get physical. Because producing requires energy. Producing requires energy. It takes more energy to produce than it is to consume. It takes more energy to produce than it does to consume. Okay? You're going to produce herds. You're going to produce flocks. All these things have to come into play. Yeah, Enlightened One says work, 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 work. Exactly. So you said, man, I'm not on my land yet or whatever. Hey, there's a lot of stuff you can do. We got a couple of brothers. A brother, Ronnie Rayner, had another brother. I'm sorry, name's slipping my mind or whatever, but he's learning how to dress a deer. Dress a deer. I'm looking at videos on how to butcher chickens and things like that. I'm looking at all that stuff. Okay, Weak City boy, my chicken come from the city. My chicken was always ready. I saw a raw chicken or whatever. That's fine. I can handle that. But it's like you don't. It's like the difference is eating a sausage and seeing how the sausage is made. Big difference, right? Big difference. So so I'm looking at all this. I'm like, okay, I never slaughtered a cow or anything like that, or a goat, sheep, or nothing like that, chicken, stuff like that. But I'm looking at the video, and I actually saw this woman. She was doing it like an expert. She grabbed the chicken. She was just kind of talking through it and everything, and she grabbed the chicken and grabbed him by his legs and hung him upside down, tied the string to his legs or whatever. She was kind of talking through it. She kind of rubbed the neck a little bit and slit it, let the blood drain out, came back, took the whole neck, the head off. Okay, she took the whole the head off, let that drain out. Then she dipped it in the hot water a little bit, for a couple of seconds. She dipped it in hot water, made it easy to pull the feathers out. She did that. Then she was cutting into the neck portion of it and taking the neck out. And then she went to the bottom of it and cutting out and basically taking all the entrails and things like that out. But hey, if you've never done it before, you got to learn. You got to learn. So there's a lot of things that we can be doing. There's a lot of things that we can do, get our skills up because of the things that's coming forth in the future. That's why, that's why I can't wait to, just get around the brother. I don't mind. I'll humble myself. Okay. I'm not going to sit out there and just be bored. I'm not doing that. I'm going to be like, hey, Brother David, what do you need me to do? What are you working on? Let me help you. But tell me what to do, whatever. I'll call Brother Chris. Chris, you got something going on? When are you gonna be? What are you working on next? And when are you working on or whatever? I need those skills. They need the help. I need the skills. Mutual. Okay. So, and personally, we're trying to do this in peace as much as possible, right? We want to live a peaceable and set apart life, right? That's the goal. Live a peaceable and set apart life. All right. I'm not worried, peaceable and set apart life. But there's some of us who are going to attract unnecessary attention, unwanted attention, which is going to make it hard for us to continue building our life. Because I think time is running short, and you got people out there just acting a plumb fool, right? We got a bunch of butter muffins out there giving Israel a bad name. We do. And then, we got to be careful, of like the commentary that we have on some of the current events out there. I'm not going to even name it or whatever, but I'll have a commentary or something like that, and everything can be taken out of context, taken the wrong way, and, you can be attacked and all that other stuff. But at the same time, we have some brews out there that are just going at this in a way that just does not benefit the cause, right? So it's getting to the point to where calling yourself an Israelite is going to put a target on you, and I talked about that before, So, me, I'm just going to focus. I mean, yes, Hebrew. I'm a Hebrew by nature. Okay. Yes. Israelite and all that. I get it. But I'm not trying to draw undue attention. Okay. I'm not. So I'm not. I'm not even out yet. I'm not out yet. So I'm not trying to, cause myself more headache. I'm not even out yet. Okay, I'm trying to get out. So I mean, I don't know. Right now, it's gonna be we're a mutual assistance group. You know, I mean that's how I see it. Okay, I'm not speaking for all the brethren and all that. I'm just saying a mutual assistance group. That's what the brethren. We're a mutual assistance group of patriarchs assembling and assisting other patriarchs. That's what we are. That's how I see it. You know, I'm only speaking for myself. Okay, it's just as as things get, we got to be wise as absolutely. We got to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. You know, and that's it. You know. Now you might get some brothers out there with some false bravado that maybe later on see this video and be like, oh, this brother, running scared and hiding. I'm not running scared. I'm not running scared. It's not that. I'm not running scared or nothing like that. Okay. Um, I understand defense. I understand self-defense. I understand taking up arms. I understand, you protecting what is yours. I understand that. And guess what? I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to do that. But am I willing to start a war for no reason? Why would I do that? Do I really want to wake up a sleeping giant? Why would I want to do that? Is that conducive to having a set apart, peaceful existence? Do I want to bring this heartache and vexation on my wife and children or future children? Do I want to do that? So no, I don't want this. I don't want undue, unnecessary attention. Okay, but there's a lot of people who got all this false bravado and they just invite trouble. Just yeah, I'm a man, and all that. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like, really? Really? If I love my family, do I want to put myself in a position to where I can be taken away from my family, in jail or dead? What good am I doing my family in jail or dead? I don't get it. I don't get it. So, no. The best place for me is to be with my family, protecting them from wicked people. Period. And the next best thing I can do is help my brother protect his. That's the next thing I can do. Help my brother protect his welfare, because if he has some interlopers, he has some invaders, he has some wicked people coming after him and trying to take over, where do you think they're going to go next? So no, what I'm going to do is, my brother calls me, hey man, we got trouble. I'm going to load up. I'll be strapped in, head to his place, and we're going to come in succession. All he has to do is hold up for 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. He can hold up, he got back up. Then we hold up for another 10-15 minutes, some more people are coming, and some more people are coming. That's how we do it. But do we want to invite trouble? Do we want to incite violence? No. Let me say loud and clear. We want to live a set apart, peaceful life. We want to please our Creator. That's it. Raise our families, fellowship with the brother, please our Creator. I use it as the 3 F's. Faith, family, and fellowship. That's what we are about. That's how I see it. The faith in our Father and Messiah, serving Him, following Him, taking care of our families, and fellowship with the brethren. That's it. That's it. Simple. And guess what? Just those 3 things, our hands are full. Just those 3 things right there, our hands are full. That's it. And farming. Oh yeah. Okay, I guess so. I am Michael Rivera and farming. Yes, I stand corrected. Yeah. I could have categorized that into something, in the, I don't know, faith, family, fellowship. The farming. Okay. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So when we're, you know, urging people to come out, we're not telling everybody they got to come out to where we are in the Ozarks and all that. No, you just come out, you know, just come out. Be self-sufficient. The goal is to be self-sufficient so that you can serve the Most High in spirit and in truth. Okay, that's why when I started this video, I was talking about, just for right now, I have to use, you know, use the damn timeshare. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna use it for something good. I'm gonna use it to where, you know, I can get away from all this Christmas pageantry, right? So I can serve the Father in spirit and truth. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what Brother Chris was talking about. He said a man is wise and thinks about his family and community before he acts. Exactly. He doesn't run around Utah calling himself a man. Yeah, you know, all that false bravado. You know, I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm a man. How many times somebody got to tell somebody I'm a man? Man, just how many? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You know, I'm this. I don't know all this. I don't know. I don't get all this false bravado. I mean, to what end? To what end? You know, where is the humility? You know, I don't get it. I don't know. Where is the humility? Where's the you know, I'm not gonna even get into it. I'm not gonna even get into it, guys, because it gets ridiculous. But yeah, it's disheartening. I lose a lot of respect for when we don't represent the Father well, when we don't represent, because I believe in Ecclesiastes, you know, to everything there's a season, right? There's a season for us to be very humble, right? To, like the brother said, you know, be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. There's a season for us to gird up our loins and have valor and be like the Maccabees and get out there and fight for what we believe in. There's a season for that too. There's a time to do that. There's a season to bear arms and do what you have to do. Hold down the fort, protect your family, have your brother's back. There's a season for that. And I like what Brother Chris was saying, you know, you got to think about your family, you got to think about your community. I'm not going to come to a particular community with brothers, and two things, like you were saying, family and the brethren. I'm not going to come to a particular community and endanger my family, and then by extension endanger the brothers. Why would I want that? I don't understand. That doesn't seem like that's wise at all whatsoever. He said, I like that. Faith, family, and fellowship. I'm gonna use that for a title. LOL. Oh, brother, go right ahead, bro. Absolutely, go ahead, brother. That's that. Hey, I like to keep it simple. Break it down. Faith, family, fellowship. That's all we're about. That's what this group is about, man. That's what the brethren's about. Okay, as a mutual assistance group, that is what we are about. All we want to do is be able to live out our faith. Live out our faith. That's it. Serving the Father, serving the Messiah. We want to lead and grow and nurture our family. And we want to assemble with the brethren in fellowship. That's it. And I have to add on, you know, Michael Rivera said, you know, through farming. We're going to do all that through farming. Okay. Nabi Crown. Shalom, shalom, brother. Shalom, shalom. So that's what we want to do. That's what we want to do. Okay. It's like they're questioning if they are really men, so they have to keep it's like they question. It's like it's kind of like who are you trying to convince, me or you? What are you who you trying to convince? Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? Okay, what is that? I don't get it. What does that mean? But my goodness. So anyway, that's what it's about, brothers. That's what it's about. Okay. Probably sure you something else, bro. That's my brother right there. Um, but that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. All right. Going from consumers, from being a consumer to a producer. Okay, that's what it's really about. Okay, Brother Nabi, I hear that you trying to come out, you trying to look at some areas and stuff like that. Um, I knew. Anyway, I know some places that you were looking. I wasn't gonna say. I'm not gonna say, but I know there's some places you were looking out there. So it's so good to hear that you're coming out. That's good. Blessings to you and your household. Um, but I think it's time for us to put first things first. I think it's time for us to really look at these things. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this to a close and everything, but I think it's time for us to put first things first. Okay, we're all like in different stages. We're in different stages, and that's why I want to encourage people in different stages, because I don't want someone to get cut short. I don't want someone to come short of it, come short of realizing exactly what it is that they want to do. Come short of they're like, oh, I'm never gonna get out. Oh, I have this. I got this year. I still got a year on my rental agreement. Um, I still got. I can't get out of here, or I got these car payments, or I got this house note, or whatever. Hey, put the house up for sale. Okay, start downsizing. Okay, start downsizing. Hop on Craigslist, eBay, start selling stuff, getting rid of the stuff that you don't need. Get rid of it. Those things that's tying you to the system, get rid of it. You have to change your career, start praying, get on your knees, fasting, praying, ask the Father to give you another career path if that's what it takes. If you have a good career path and you can still maintain that and get out, please, by all means, do that. Do that. Do that. Because I had a video, I can't remember the video or whatever, but it still come out of her, my people. And then again, they say, well, oh, it doesn't really mean that, you don't have to move all out into the country and the wilderness and all the other stuff. It doesn't mean that. It was just saying, come out of that spiritual whatever. I'm like, okay, all right. If you want to believe that, go, by all means, go ahead. See, people like that, there's nothing you can tell them. There's nothing you can tell them. They're gonna tell me if they're still gonna believe that when those trucks stop running. Tell me if they're still going to believe that when the pharmacies are shut down. Tell me, are they still going to believe that if there is martial law? See, I said if, so people don't say, oh, you're just fear-mongering. Okay, tell me if they believe that if the dollar collapse. Are you still going to believe that? Okay, or do you still believe, oh, you don't got to go nowhere, you ain't got to do anything? I've said in other videos, I said, okay, some of us have grandparents or great-grandparents that remember the Great Depression, and those who were farmers didn't even feel it. Why? Because they were self-sufficient. 90% of everything that they consumed, they produced themselves. So they didn't know nothing about people being in soup lines. There was no internet. There was no people being in soup lines wrapped around the corner and everything to get a piece of bread and stuff like that. They were just farming. They're like, what depression? What do you? Why? Because they wasn't tied to the system. They weren't on the assembly line. They were not on the assembly line. So when we look at examples in the Bible, okay, hey, flee to the hills or seek out the old paths, and then we're not getting. The wise man perceive the danger, and hides himself. Look to the ant, thou sluggard. How many scriptures do you need? How many scriptures do you need? And you have all these grass trolls out there commenting, trying to disarm you, okay? You have all these grass trolls. I say grass trolls, just so people understand what I'm saying. As y'all can see, I don't use a whole lot of profanity, so grass troll sounds like, what does it sound like? Okay, that's what I mean. So but I get these grass trolls making these comments, and just trying to go against scripture, go against me, but then when I'm speaking scripture, they're not really going against me, they're going against scripture. So I'm saying prepare yourself. I'm saying I pray that you prepare and you get so much done and you die before you even need it. And I'm not talking about die young, I'm talking about die old before you even need it. But you got it done and you got it started for your children or your grandchildren. I pray that martial law does not happen in our lifetime. Now, I know there's a level of it going on. I pray that the dollar doesn't collapse in your lifetime. I'm not holding my breath, but I pray that it doesn't happen. I do, but I pray you get prepared and not need all your preps than to need all these preps and not be prepared. That's what I pray. That's what I pray. So brothers and sisters, if you have the opportunity to come out, to get a piece of land, create your own little Goshen, your own little garden, you do that. And you produce righteous seed, because that's the only way you can combat wickedness out there. The wicked, because there's a lot of wicked seed out there. We need to produce righteous seed. Go get that done. You need to be self-sufficient. Go get that done. Clear out your debt. Work on it. Get it done. Work on that. Divest yourself of anything that's slowing you down, getting in your way, anything that is a stumbling block for you from getting out of the system. Anything that's a stumbling block for you. I don't even care if it is a loved one. I don't care if it's a spouse. Get rid of it. If it's causing you not to be able to do what you're called to do, if it's causing you to stumble, if it's causing you to not be able to get out, not to live righteously. You have a spouse that's, can't come out of Christmas and Easter and what. I'm sorry, you give them a little time, a little space. Like I did a video and I said you may have to apologize because you became a new person, you became awakened, and now you're on a different path. Okay, yeah, let them know, because they were married to that old you. But you let them know this is the new me. I'm going to give you a little bit of time, a little bit of space to adjust. But you're going to have to adjust. This is the vision I have. You are the man, you are the patriarch. I'm speaking to the men. You're the man, you are the patriarch. You're the one who the vision is upon you. He expects you. Eve messed up. Who did the Most High go to first? She ate it first. She bit into the fruit of lies first. But he came at her. What did I tell you? Guys, we're the one responsible. She can make all these crazy vows. She can say all kinds of crazy stuff, whatever. And you as her husband, or father, if you're talking about a daughter, you can disavow that. Can they do that for you? So you're the man. So anybody who's stopping you from doing what you got to do, you got to get rid of them. They get in line, or you got to get rid of, oh, brother, you can't be breaking up families and all that. I mean, it's not me. The Messiah said, think that I'd come bring peace on the world. I bring a sword. And he's going to do what? He's going to do what? He's going to say who at variance? In other places, he said what? And I'm paraphrasing, but he's saying, no man who has left what? House and land and children, spouse, wife, whatever. Come on, guys, you already know this. So whatever is stopping you, whatever is stopping you, hey, if it's not of Yah, then the enemy got you there. Put that in your way as a stumbling block. That's what's happening. It is in your way as a stumbling block. You do what you can, and you save yourself. Whatever you can, you do what you must, save yourself. What is your faith? If your faith does not produce action, if your faith does not produce works, you don't have any faith. There is no faith. If it doesn't produce something, we're talking about from consumer to producer. It's okay to have all this head knowledge. There's a time in the season to get all this head knowledge, to have all these different doctrines, and I know this and I want to go deeper into the word and I got to learn this. Let me go into the etymology of the word and let me go grab my Josephus and let me grab my Strongs and let me get my Sefer Bible and let me go get my Babylon and Timbuktu. Let me go get all this. Okay. What is it producing? It's okay to have the knowledge. What is it producing? I'm not saying don't learn, but what are you doing with it? What is it producing? At some point, you got to do something with it. You got to do something with it. The true children of Israel are melanated people. Okay, what are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do? Let's do it, guys. Let's get with it. Let's get with the program, brothers. Let's get with the program. Don't let anything stand in your way. Don't let all these distractions stand in your way. Sometimes distraction is right in your home. Don't let that get in your way. Don't let all the distractions on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. Don't let all these things distract you. Don't do it. Don't let too much of the other things, your Netflix and your Hulu and all. Don't let that distract you. Don't let that get in your way. Anything can be a stumbling block. Anything, if you allow it, if you allow it to knock you off your path, anything can be a stumbling block. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Start right where you are. If it means just clearing out some debt, then just do that. Knock down your debt. Keep working. Keep going. Buy a piece of land, but you can't get out there right away. Go ahead. Keep going. Okay, buy the land and get out there when you can. Get started. Get going. So I just want to encourage all you guys. Move from being a consumer. Become a producer in every facet. Every facet. Become a producer. Your faith should be producing works. From your food to just keep buying it from fast food in the grocery stores, you should be producing it in your land. Create your own Goshen. And you're not doing all this for nothing, getting all this land. What you should be doing? You should be producing a family. You should be raising up righteous seed. How are you going to do that? Oh, well, my wife don't want no more kids. Okay, so get another one. You got to do something. You got to do something. What's the point? Help out the other love thy neighbor as thyself. That means helping out the other brethren. He needs some help. That should be love thy neighbor. Should be producing. You should be producing, lending a helping hand. It should be producing some hospitality. It should be producing some all things in common. That's a mutual assistance group. A faith-based one. That's a whole nother video, guys. That's a complete another video. We should be producing. Go from a consumer to a producer in every area. Brother Robinson, we can be eunuchs. Absolutely. We should be producing. It's our job, brothers. That's our job. Even iron sharpens iron. We're supposed to be helping each other out, help building each other up, not tearing each other down. Building each other up, not tearing each other down. Having respect for one another. And having respect for one another is having respect for one another's wives. Period. Building each other up, iron sharpens iron. That's how you do it. That's how you respect one another. You want to produce righteousness. That's what we're supposed to be after. We're supposed to be seeking after, chasing after righteousness. And when you do have some righteous fellowship, it will help proliferate that righteousness. One brother's doing righteousness, the other one's like, man, I'm striving to do that. And you build each other up and you help each other out, brother. You got that, boom, you can do this and keep going. You just keep going from there and you don't stop. produce righteousness, produce righteous seed, produce, help train up and nurture a righteous wife and a righteous household. Then all of a sudden you have a righteous community, righteous assembly, a righteous community, and now you got each other's back, and now you got a group of people working for the high calling. But it starts right where you are right now. So whatever you are right now, don't be discouraged. Keep moving. It is a process. Don't be discouraged. Don't let the enemy come in, and don't let any distractions knock you off course. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. We're gonna see you guys later on Following Yeshua's live stream later on. Okay, it's in the evening, a little bit in the evening, in a few hours. So I'll catch you guys on that. Shalom, Mishpachah. See you on the next one. Oh, also hit the notification bell so when these things pop up, you get notified. Share.